this is Sherry Veronica. A lot of places in the world that had plantations, and I mean plantations where they had free labor, and that slave trade was still something that was happening. A lot of those places would or have changed the name of that particular place in real estate, or that particular place on Google, or that particular place in society. They would change the name, especially post emancipation, okay? Because like other words that you use in the English language, it's offensive. It could be offensive. And even if you were to go to a plantation and marry or whatever, it comes back to haunt you. A lot of people do that, and it comes back to haunt them because people are saying, well, you went to that place and you married, and you had to have known what happened there, and blah blah blah. But it's something you shy away from, because the word plantation is not a nice word. It isn't, okay? And in Barbados, a lot of plantations are now hotels. You know that the same thing is happening. People are working for minimum wage, and they call them employees, and they're working for a hotel, like Sandals, and what's it called in St. James, Sandy Lane, and whatever. But they clean it up and they give it a new name. But this one in St. George, Bulkeley plantation, I always wonder, where is the history in Barbados, and why would you have this wording still in Barbados? Shouldn't you go through all of Barbados, and every plantation that still has that word in the name of that place? Shouldn't you think about taking that word away and giving it a new name, just like how you rename and you give names to the schools and other places, roundabouts and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, the names that you give, the people's names that you put on the schools, you tell a story about that person, because you usually pick particular people to name after schools, to put their names on the schools, and the children who went there, who were affected, they know. But plantations now, don't you Barbadians think that you should go around all of Barbados, and the few places that remain that has like Bulkeley plantation or blah 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 plantation or whatever plantation, don't you think that you should take that word out of your history at this point? It is 2024. You are in the 21st century. Don't you think that at this point you should take that word out of Barbados and give it a new name? Give that place a new name, okay? Don't you think so? Don't you think that you should do that? And I'm not even talking about the guy here that is, trying to fight for the one person there that's fighting for his job, doing agriculture or whatever. He's still fighting to pay his bills. He needs money to pay his bills. Yeah, it's good, that it's admirable that, that he is, he's protesting the fact that he was sent home. He lost his job. But Bulkeley plantation in St. George and other plantations that are still in Barbados, that still carry the name blank plantation, don't you think, with all that education you say you have, and all the the big words, and all that talk that Mia Motley has, for instance, can't her administration do something to change over plantation to a new word, give it a new name, and get that word, so that anyone coming to Barbados and say, well, are there any plantations in Barbados? You can say, formerly this place was known as such and such, but we do not. We no longer use that word in Barbados and have it as a word that could be offensive. Don't you think you should get to that point? I know you like to work up. I know you like the crop over and I know. I understand that. But besides that part of it and the mother Sally part of it, don't you think that you, in the history of things, should get rid of the word plantation? Don't you think so? This is Sherry Veronica.